UFC 304 goes down this Saturday, and what an amazing card we have, and I'm going to give you my main card predictions for this unbelievable card. Starting off, opening up the main card, Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. This is a really nice stylistic matchup right here. Both great kickboxers, can knock people out, and just overall just are entertaining fighters, and it's a good matchup, striker versus striker. But I don't think Giga Chikadze really has a chance to win this fight. I mean, obviously he can, but I think Arnold Allen, at the point where, where these two men are in their careers, I think they're just in opposite spots. I think Giga, he's had a lot of injury issues, and he has some decent wins, but his best win is against Edson Barboza from 2021. I mean, that's a long time ago. So this is a do or die fight for Giga. If he wants to get close to the title, if he ever wants to sniff a title shot, he needs to beat Arnold Allen this Saturday night, and I just don't think he does it. So my prediction for this fight is Arnold Allen, the win by decision. And my main reason why is that I just think when it comes to kickboxing, I think Arnold Allen is better. I think he's better basically everywhere. I think he's going to hit harder. I love his kicks. I love the way he moves. His footwork is amazing. And when you look at his fight against Mosar, his scrambles that he had were just amazing. I mean, this is a guy who went 5 rounds with Max Holloway and won some of the later rounds against a cardio and output machine like Max Holloway. And his losses aren't bad. I mean, lost to Max Holloway. Everyone in that division besides Ilya and Volkanovski are probably losing to Max Holloway. A loss to Mosar. I think Evelev has future champion potential written all over him. So it's not a bad loss, and it was a very competitive fight. And, with the new rules of how to ground an opponent, Arnold maybe wins that fight. But, all right, jokes aside there. But I just think Arnold Allen, I know he's lost 2 in a row, but I think he's in his prime. He knows that this is kind of a do or die fight for him too. If he loses this, that's 3 in a row. And, he's going to be slipping out of the top 10 if he loses potentially. And Giga, if he loses, he's never really getting to be a top 5 fighter in the division or, ever sniff a title shot. But I think this is going to be a striking battle, and I think Arnold Allen is just better everywhere on the feet. I think he's younger, he's quicker, he's just more in his prime than Giga. And I think, by the way, don't be surprised if you see this, I think Arnold Allen might mix in a takedown. Giga ain't gonna shoot for any takedowns. He doesn't have grappling. But Arnold Allen, his scrambles against Mosar, I'll never forget. Those are some of the best scrambles I've seen in a while. Those are amazing. Showed how well-rounded his game is, that if you take him down, you might think, oh, he's just some kickboxer. No, Arnold Allen is amazing at getting back up to his feet. And I could see him maybe Giga hits him with a nice combo or something, and Arnold's like, you know what, I'm going to take this guy down, beat him up a bit, or just maybe, hold him there a bit and tire him out. I don't know. I just think Arnold Allen has way more paths to victory. If he wants to use grappling, I think he could use it. I know he doesn't really use it at all, but if he really wants to, he can do it. And I think overall on the feet, I think Arnold Allen is just more in his prime. I think when you talk about resume, I think he has better wins, and they're way more recent wins. As I said, Giga's best win is against Edson Barboza, which is a great win. But it was 3 years ago. 2021. I think Stipe was fighting back then. That's how long ago that was. So I just don't see how Giga takes this. I just don't. I think it will be a nice fight. I think it will be a pretty competitive fight. But I think we're going to see a clear unanimous decision victory for Arnold Allen. I think he might win all 3 rounds. Maybe 2-1. I'm going to say he wins all 3 rounds. Unanimous decision victory for Arnold Allen. And I think he gets a nice win. And now we can start looking back up into the top 5 to see what matchups he can get, and potentially, who knows, maybe get a title shot in the foreseeable future. On to the next fight. Gregory Rodrigues, or RoboCop, versus Christian Leroy Duncan. This is a really good fight, even though it shouldn't be on the main card. Mokaev versus Manelkap should be on the main card, but besides the point. Gregory Rodrigues, when I think a lot of people look at him, they think, oh, this guy, he's going in, he's swinging, huge hook, he's knocking people out, or maybe he's getting knocked out. He has good grappling. He has a good grappling game. He has good takedowns. He's good jiu-jitsu. So Gregory Rodrigues, yes, does he like to get reckless? Does he like to just love and go in there and just, have an all-out war against his opponent? Absolutely. But overall, though, he is pretty well-rounded. And, when you look at Christian Leroy Duncan, I think his advantages in this fight is that his movement, I think, is better than Gregory. I think overall his striking is better than Rodrigues' striking is. And I think the question is, can Gregory Rodrigues take Leroy Duncan down, because Leroy Duncan is good in the clinch. He can defend takedowns. They both have lost to Armin. I'm gonna butcher his last name. I don't even want to say it, but Patrisan or whatever. Oh my gosh. But both have lost to similar guys. But I just think that Leroy Duncan's movement is going to be too effective. And his movement is going to stop Gregory from being able to take him down, which I think he's going to need. And obviously, RoboCop could land the death shot on the feet, 100%. That could happen. But overall, I think Rodrigues is not going to get it done, and I think he's going to get finished, to be honest. I think the movement, the overall better striking, Leroy Duncan's ability to defend takedowns with just his raw strength and his movement with his striking is going to be too much for Gregory Rodrigues. So I think Gregory, unfortunately, I think he's getting knocked out, and I think the hometown man and Leroy Duncan takes this fight by, I'll go second round TKO for Leroy Duncan. But regardless, I think he's getting a finish in some capacity of this fight, but we'll go second round. Moving up to the featured fight, and I absolutely love this fight. I think it's a very interesting fight to pick. Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby Green, or now King Green. This is a tough fight because on paper, Bobby Green probably should win this fight. He's faster on the feet. He has decent, he has good takedown defense. And overall, probably just kind of underrated wrestling in general. He's choked out Tony Ferguson. And then Paddy's striking isn't very good. His wrestling and jiu-jitsu can be effective, but overall, he struggled. He couldn't really take down Jared Gordon. He struggled at times to take down Tony Ferguson. He struggled to take down Jordan Levitt. Tony Ferguson's a dead body. Jared Gordon is good, but it's not like Jared Gordon's like top 15 in lightweight division or anything like that. He's good, but he's not great though. All of us thought that Paddy Pimblett was going to just walk past Jared Gordon and beat the shit out of him. It didn't happen. He lost that fight. Jared Gordon got robbed that fight. So, looking in this fight, I almost have to think like this is a guy who lost to Jared Gordon, which is not a bad loss, but for how much hype that was surrounding Paddy Pimblett, it's really, the robbery win he got just, it's not a good look for him, especially fighting a guy like Bobby Green, who has very quick hands, who has decent power, who can, defend the takedowns. But the key, I think the X factor for Paddy Pimblett in this fight is that I think he's going to have a power advantage. And I think Green's chin is just not very good anymore. Tony Ferguson, dead body's hurting him. Jim Miller, he's basically a dead body. He's an old man. He's hurting him. You have, what Jalen Turner did to Bobby Green. Took 10 years off his fucking life probably. It was vicious how bad that was. And by the way, horrible stoppage too, by the way. So that ref needs to be fired. But it's just, I think, as I said, on paper, when you look at their skill set, Bobby should win this fight. But he's not. And I'm picking Paddy Pimblett to TKO him in the second round. I think, I don't think Paddy's going to respect the power coming back as much as, as maybe Bobby thinks he's going to. And I think he's going to be willing to eat a lot of shots to land the right shot. And I think he's going to put Bobby Green out. As I said, look at Bobby Green. He's getting hurt by Jim Miller. He's getting hurt by Tony Ferguson. He's getting 10 years taken off his life against Jalen Turner. He's chinny. He's extremely chinny. And I think in Manchester, England, Paddy Pimblett needs this win. And I think obviously he's going to be hungry for it. And I think what we're going to see here is a bit of a coming out party for Paddy Pimblett. I think this is, the UFC gave Paddy this matchup for a reason. They believe Paddy Pimblett can beat Bobby Green. And obviously that doesn't really mean shit when you think about it, but there's a reason why this is the matchup. They believe Paddy can win this, and I also believe he'll win this fight because of how chinny Bobby Green is. And I think it's going to be a huge statement win for Paddy. I know Bobby Green is not some, renowned, like all-world renowned fighter. But at the end of the day, Paddy Pimblett's going to get in the top 15 after this fight. And then he's going to be looking at top 10 opponents, top 12 opponents. Who knows? Imagine they have him fight Beneil Dariush to try and get him in the top 10 or something. That's a huge fight. Any fight with Paddy against a top 10 guy is a big fight. So I think this is Paddy's coming out party. He chins Bobby Green in the second round. And I could see Bobby Green, winning this fight. I could see him winning this, not winning the fight, winning the fight up until he gets chinned because of how quick he is. He's going to be putting damage on Paddy's face. And I am a bit worried about Paddy's gas tank a bit. I will not lie. I'm a bit worried about that. But I don't think it gets to the third round, so I don't think the gas tank is going to be a huge factor in this fight because, as I said, I don't think it goes past the second round. So, official prediction, I got Paddy, the baddie Pimblett, beating Bobby Green, now King Green, by second round TKO. And finally, Paddy Pimblett gets into the top 15 and gets a number by his name. Moving on to the co-main event. And I'll be honest, this was the easiest fight for me to pick. And I think it's the easiest fight for a lot of people to pick. And it's no disrespect to Curtis Blaydes. I like Curtis Blaydes a lot. I think he's a really good fighter. But he's just not on Tom Aspinall's level. And I know, he has good grappling and stuff, but I think Tom Aspinall's grappling is debatably better. In fact, I'm going to say it is better. When you look at Curtis Blaydes, his entries to takedown just aren't really good. Go look at the Jailton Almeida fight. He was getting kind of ragdolled in that first round before Jailton made a mistake and, Curtis Blaydes capitalized on it. It was a great win by Curtis Blaydes, but Jailton Almeida was just manhandling a bit with just keeping him on the ground up against the fence and picking him up and, as I said, just smashing him on the ground and stuff like that. Jailton Almeida was doing Jailton Almeida things to Curtis Blaydes. And I just think if Curtis Blaydes is going to win this fight, he has to be able to control Tom Aspinall on the ground. And I just don't see how that's going to happen. His entries in the takedowns are super sloppy. I think his wrestling overall, it's heavyweight division, so I think it's a little overrated. I think Tom Aspinall is better jiu-jitsu overall, a better wrestler, and the main difference is the feet and the movement and the speed and the power. I mean, don't get me wrong, these heavyweights, both of them hit hard, but you combine the power and the speed of Tom Aspinall, he's going to hit harder, and he's just going to be harder to hit at this while, putting out more offensive damage. So I got Tom Aspinall. I got him KOing Curtis Blaydes inside round one, probably inside the first 3 minutes. I just don't see how Curtis Blaydes wins this fight. As I said, he has to be able to take him down and control him, but I just don't see how he does it. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Curtis Blaydes has a pathway to victory in this fight. And I think Aspinall is going to keep it standing, which is what he should want to do, because as I said, the only pathway for Curtis is, and I don't even want to call it a pathway because I don't think he's a superior grappler, honestly. But yeah, I got Tom Aspinall absolutely just kind of doing what Sergey Pavlovich did to Curtis Blaydes, if not more dominant, just putting Curtis Blaydes lights out cold in the first 2-3 minutes. And hopefully we finally get Aspinall versus Jones after this. I think Dana mentioned that at the press conference that the winner will fight Jones. I'm guessing Jones retires after Stipe though, so I don't think we'll ever see it. But hopefully if Jones obviously doesn't retire, we don't insert Pereira into this heavyweight division stuff. This weight class is already messed. We need to figure out this title situation. So hopefully, if Aspinall wins, he'll get to fight Jones if Jones sticks around. And if Curtis Blaydes wins this fight, it will be the funniest thing ever. But I just don't see how it happens. This was the easiest pick for me, and I just don't see how Curtis Blaydes wins this fight at all. So I got Tom Aspinall by first round KO, if not first 3 minutes by KO. So got Tom Aspinall defending the interim title, which is just goofy to say in my opinion. And now we look at the main event. Leon Edwards defending the welterweight title against Belal Muhammed. This fight is really hard to pick. And I'm kind of picking, I'm not 100% certain who I'm picking in this fight, even right now. I'm kind of just, thinking about all the avenues to victory for each fighter. What are the strengths, what are the weaknesses right now in front of you guys? And it's tough. And I know some people might be like, how do you think Belal's going to beat Leon? A lot of people hyping Leon up. And I guess we'll go over the paths to victory. Obviously, the path to victory for Leon Edwards is his footwork, his striking, and his overall just movement, and just being able to stay out of danger, also hitting you with leg kicks. I mean, look what he did to Colby's legs. Hitting you with a nice jab and stuff. That is Leon's path to victory. But unlike Colby, unlike Usman the second fight where he was gun shy, Belal Muhammad is going to put pressure on on Leon Edwards for this entire fight. I don't believe there will be a moment where Belal Muhammad is not moving forward and putting pressure on Leon Edwards. Because Belal Muhammad knows that Leon Edwards gasses out. Look at him in Utah. I know it's at elevation, but look at him in Utah against Kamaru Usman. comparing to Kamaru Usman or like other guys fighting in Utah. I mean, I know the elevation kind of affects everyone, but Leon Edwards was especially affected by that elevation more than any fighter I think I've ever seen. So he was, his cardio is a problem. Look at Colby Covington. Colby wasn't even fighting. Leon wasn't even putting that much output, and in those last couple rounds, he started the gas. He kind of was gas. Colby's kind of able to take him down and stuff. And you look at Belal Muhammad, off the couch, 2 weeks notice, I think, fought Gilbert Burns and had 5-round cardio. He won probably like every round against Gilbert Burns, and he didn't look tired at all in that 5th round. And when you look at the resumes, I know Leon's been champion, but let's go. I'm looking at the resumes right now. I mean, up until the title, Leon's best win is, debatably RDA or Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is basically a dead body in that fight, and he almost got finished by him in the 5th round. If Nate Diaz wasn't pointing his finger at him, one more jab, one more little combo on Leon with how badly he was rocked, he's going to sleep. RDA, I think RDA's only win at welterweight since the loss to Leon Edwards against Brian Barberena, who's an absolute can. I don't even know if he's in the UFC anymore. And RDA's a lightweight at the end of the day. Look at Belal Muhammad's resume. Gilbert Burns, Sean Brady, Vicente Luque before he was a dead body. That was a very good win over Vicente Luque. Stephen Thompson when I believe he was ranked in top 6, top 5. Damian Maia. So, his resume up to the title is better. And even when you look at Leon's resume as champion, that Usman fight, props to him. Probably the most amazing, craziest moment I've ever seen in UFC as a fan watching that. Watching him knock out Usman when he was getting dominated for the 3 rounds prior was just insane to watch and behold. But overall, after the 1st round, he got dominated by Usman. He got a Hail Mary lucky KO. Let's just say how it is. And props to him. He won the 2nd fight, a very close fight. I feel like people think it wasn't that close. Very close fight. Leon was cheating nonstop. And I think Usman's a little gun shy, but still, definitely that's the 2nd or the 3rd Usman fight, definitely the best one in Leon's career. Then you look at Colby Covington, who, and I hate to say it because this isn't necessarily Leon's fault, but Colby Covington, he didn't even show up. He didn't even try and fight. He didn't show up. And I think I'm not gonna lie, actually, it's a little embarrassing that Leon couldn't put more pressure on him. It's kind of embarrassing. You couldn't hurt Colby once. You couldn't put any pressure on him. I know it takes 2 to tango, but still, come on, Leon. You're just a way better striker than Colby. You can't hurt him once, really. But so, that fight, I didn't really learn that much from that fight, to be honest. Honestly, if I learned anything, it's that, Leon's gas tank continues to not be that good. So I'm just, you guys can probably tell I'm literally going back and forth in my head right now because I do think Leon has the striking advantage. I do think Leon will win the early rounds. But at the same time, I could see him just kind of giving up almost and wilting and just not having faith in himself. After he goes to the stool, after the 3rd round or 4th round, and Belal is just as fresh as he was in the 1st round. He's just putting pressure on Leon, starting to really hit his shots. And Leon is, his movement is fatiguing a bit. It's not that effective anymore because Belal is just always in his face. And he's not respecting the power that's coming back to him. And Belal knows this is his only shot. He's never getting a title shot if he loses this. This is do or die for Belal Muhammad. This is such a tough fight to pick. And I could see this fight almost going Leon wins the first 2 rounds. It's a competitive fight, but he wins them clearly. Then the 3rd round's kind of, even, could go either way. And then Belal Muhammad into the 4th and 5th round when Leon kind of starts the gas and kind of starts to wilt under the pressure of Belal Muhammad and the strikes start landing for Belal. Leon kind of getting a little bit ragdolled in those last 2 rounds. But, maybe he still gets his decision because he won the first 2 rounds and, it's in England. When he lands a punch, the crowd's going to be going wild. So the fans could, kind of influence the judges. And I could see him winning, a little slightly controversial decision because I don't see him knocking out Belal. This is really tough. But if I have to pick someone, if I'm gonna pick someone, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm picking Belal Muhammad by late finish. I'm picking him by late finish. I think he's gonna lose the first couple rounds. And then after, kind of during the 3rd round, you're gonna kind of start to see the shift in the fight, the momentum shift. Maybe Leon slightly wins it, but you're gonna see oh boy, Leon's kind of tiring out. Belal looked really good. Like, if Leon gets any more tired than this is not going to be good. And I think after that third round, Belal Muhammad is going to kind of beat the dog shit out of him in the fourth round. Just put just nonstop pressure on him. Leon, as I said, I think he's going to wilt underneath the pressure. And I think in that fifth round, Belal Muhammad is going to TKO Leon Edwards, and he's going to win the belt. And just ruin the party for all the English fans that are watching this fight at like 5 a.m. He's going to ruin their party. And when I start recording this video, I was like, I'm picking Leon Edwards. But talking about it, on this video with you guys, I'm going Belal Muhammad. My gut just says that Belal Muhammad, the pressure he has, the cardio he has, and when you see how bad, Leon's cardio is and how it's just not good after the first 3 rounds, and that the fact that Belal Muhammad will never get a title shot after this. I mean, if Belal Muhammad loses this, he's going to get fed to one of the up-and-coming guys, and Dana White's going to pray that he loses so he can put another guy in the top 5. And in fact, if Belal Muhammad loses, I think Belal should just fucking retire, honestly. I think he should just retire, because he's never getting a title shot again. He will never get a title shot again. And that's why I think, as I said, when Leon Edwards starts to tire, Belal Muhammad is going to be like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I knew I had on this guy. I knew my cardio was going to be better than Leon Edwards. And this is where I'm going to make his life miserable, and I'm going to make him quit, and I'm getting him out of there. I mean, we need to remember, this is a guy, Leon Edwards, who his coach was, don't let him bully you, son. Don't let him bully you. I mean, he's giving a pep talk to Leon Leon gave up in that fight. Look at his facial expression. During that fight when he's on the bench, he gave up that fight. He quit on himself in that fight. And I know we got the knockout. Before someone's just like, oh, we got the knockout. I know we got the knockout. But Leon was mentally defeated. That's a better way of saying it. Leon was mentally defeated in that fight. And I think it's going to be somewhat of a similar situation. But Belal Muhammad is going to find the TKO. And he's going to mentally defeat Leon Edwards, find the TKO in the 5th round, and we're going to have a new welterweight champion. So, guys, let me know what you think about my predictions below. Let me know what you think about the main event. Because, guys, I'm telling you, this main event, look at the win streaks both these guys are on. This main event's a lot more competitive, and I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. And Leon Edwards, I see how he can win. But I think the will and the cardio and just knowing that it's his only shot to ever get his lifelong dream, I think Belal Muhammad's going to finish him in the 5th round. So let me know what you think about my predictions. And let's hope UFC 304 delivers. Let's hope we get great fights, amazing performances. Pray no one pulls out, 2 days before or something like that. And just, guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Take care.